Hi, good morning. This is Ravi, and I was supposed to schedule a session on the topic the rules of rising to the top of your organization. And so there were multiple channels where I was supposed to do this. So I invited people on a Google Hangout. So there are a couple of them, and then it is live streaming on Facebook and live streaming on YouTube. So you can't escape if you have not registered yet. But I deliberately am live streaming in different channels so that yeah, so just that you get multiple options to this content. So by now, I think you already know the context of this session. The context of this session is simple. I am sharing some of my life lessons, my career lessons from my short career, close to 20 years of career. And not just mine, I also have collated information that I have gathered from extremely successful professionals in their career and collated the best learning from them and am sharing it here. So I've created some slides. So let me just quickly pull them up and then we get started. All right. Sharing screen here. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Give me a second here. I think we are good. Mm-hmm. Excellent. You are able to see the screen now. White loads. Excellent. So as I said, I am going to be sharing 10 rules of rising to the top of your organization. And this is collated from not just from my experience, but all the conversations that I have had from people who have had phenomenal careers in their life and what are the rules that they had applied in their careers and just sharing it with you. So yeah, so I'm the global product line manager here in $85 billion company called Unicry. And on the side, I am a success coach. I coach a lot of people in career transitioning. I coach a lot of people in accelerating their careers and so on and so forth. I also founded Limitless. It is a personal and professional growth platform. I'm going to talk about that later after this session, so please stay there right till the end, and I'm gonna talk about Limitless as well. All right, so a little bit about myself. So as I said, I'm a global product line manager, managing three products in my portfolio in a very large reinsurance company called Munich Re. Over the past several years, I have worked in some of the best product companies like Teamweaver, Autodesk, Siemens, Sun Microsystems. Ionos was my previous company. And I worked in India, I worked in Singapore, I have traveled to different headquarters in the USA, in Shanghai. So I've been a globetrotter for some time now. And yeah, that's my career aspect. I have, as I said, I'm a founder of Limitless. It's a gym membership for personal and professional growth. I'll talk about that later. I'm a curator of productlessons.com, where I interviewed over 150 product leaders, and I've written over 250 blog posts. I'm the founder of productphilosophy.org. You can check it out to know what it is. I've also founded Product Camp Singapore, a meetup, a product community for product managers in Singapore. We started with 30 odd people. Today it is close to 300 people in Singapore. I was a ambassador for Product Management Festival, one of the largest conferences of product management in Zurich. So I just stepped out of that role last year as my responsibilities were increasing in my day job. So that's where that is a bit about me. My hustle, so all that I have done beyond my day job has gotten me attractive work opportunities from all over the world, had gotten me in free invitations to some of the best product conferences in the world. It has given me opportunities to keynote in some of the best conferences. It has given me opportunity to be a guest on some of the best podcasts. I have interacted and collaborated with some of the best product minds, product management minds from the who's who in the industry. And I've also gotten invited to MBA schools where I have addressed to students, MBA students from at least 4 different universities in Germany, in India as well. All right. I'm here to. So we all are dealing with a huge crisis. The entire world is dealing with the pandemic, and it's dismal, especially in Southeast Asia, in India, in Germany as well. The entire world is dealing with the pandemic. However, I am here to talk about another kind of pandemic, and this is employee disengagement. And I see this as I call this as a pandemic because the scale of this attitude is rampant and it's mind-boggling. And I've seen this in close quarters where I have seen employees completely disengaged in their careers, professional careers, and the disengagement is for multiple reasons. Either they're not passionate about what they're working, either they are not happy with their organizations where they're working, they're not happy with their bosses, they're not happy with the way their career is taking turn, they are frustrated with stagnation, they're not happy with the pay. So as a result, what has happened is there is a tendency to be completely disengaged and reduce your careers, reduce the opportunity of your career, and see other alternatives outside of your career. And this is rampant. And the reason I say this is rampant is people have no clue to resolve this, and they're a lie, or they're being sold this another variant or another option in their lives, which it seems like the grass on the other side is greener. So the lie that is being sold, not a lie, but a myth, or I call it chasing a chimera, that you know what, are you ready to be your own boss because you hate being a boss, or because you cannot be satisfied working under somebody else, working for some other organization. And this story is being sold again and again to some of the impressionable minds, especially the young minds. And nobody is telling them how to make the best utilization and still be satisfied and have a growth oriented career in your professional lives. I've seen so many communities, I've seen so many workshops being conducted where they are offering solutions to get rid of your day job, get rid of your career so that you can work for yourself. Now, I'm not against working for myself. I myself have big ambitions of building something of my own. I'm talking about this challenge. I'm talking about this, as I say, this pandemic, where people are taking this as an excuse to get rid of their day job and living a frustrating career. So as a result, what is happening is they are in no man's land. So they have a frustrating career that they want to get rid of, and they want to start their own side business or a business, and they are not being able to do any of them. As a result, they are in no man's land, and this is a big challenge, and this is a big trend that I see. A hordes of people not being able to manage their own career and trying to chase a chimera. Chasing a chimera is like chasing something that there is no reality. It's a wishful thinking. Um, so my attempt here is, and always has been, that you know what, there are ways on how you can take charge of your career and not just survive but thrive in your career, and that has been my mission, so to say, because I have been a part of that trap for a long, long time. Especially in the first 10 years of my career, I did not manage my career well. And I always wanted to get rid of my day job, corporate job, to start something of my own. I had a low opinion of a career job. I was also under the influence of this messaging that was sold to me that, you know what, the more honorable way to live is to work for yourself and to be your own boss, and only the losers work for other bosses or other organizations. And over time, I had this change in mindset and change in shift. And then I started accumulating stories. I started interacting with people who have had thriving careers in their lives. And I will give you the example of, I will give you some of those examples. So let me give you also the reality of what is happening in the startups. If you have been in the know, you would have known that this is the list of the current state of startups that became viral. So it lists at least 20 startups, especially in Southeast Asia and India, where it shows the accruing losses of some of those well-known startups. These are well-funded startups. These are the marquee startups. These are the darlings of the startup industries. And as you can see, most of these startups are accruing a lot of losses. Now, I do not want to paint a dismal picture here. The point that I'm trying to make is the grass is always greener on the other side. So you feel that you will be happy and you will be satisfied and you will be on top of the world if you are building something of your own. Tells you a true picture that, you know what, you might still struggle and you might still not succeed if you start to build something of your own. And that's why I'm here to give you examples of people who have started in their jobs at entry level positions and they have gone on to become CEOs. So I'm going to give you an alternative story that, you know what, if you focus on your career and if you give everything to your organization, it is in fact a more better way than starting something of your own to rise at the helm of your organization and also make wealth. So these are some of the examples. So let's look at some of the examples. I just uh, gathered some of these profiles online, and I started to look out for CEOs who started in entry level positions and then went on to become to head the organization. So Doug McKillen, he was loading trucks at Walmart distribution center as a teenager. So when he joined as a teenager at the age of 19, his job was to load trucks at Walmart distribution. Now he's the CEO of the retail company. So phenomenal rise within the organization. Marty Barra, started as an assembly line at General Motors. So assembly line is where you assemble your car, and then it gets to the shop floor. So she started there, and now she's the CEO and chairman of the auto company. Chris Rondeau was a receptionist in the Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, as you know, is a big chain of fitness, one of the biggest successes in fitness industry. And from a receptionist, he went on to become the CEO of the fitness company. Bob Iger is very popular, especially his latest book became very popular. And he started as a weatherman in the news station, and today I think he resigned as the CEO of Walt Disney Company. So I'm just giving you examples of how some of these people, they started at the very bottom, and just by focusing and giving all into their careers, to their organization, they went on to take the top jobs. Corbett is started in the sales department of the bank in Citigroup. Today he is the CEO of Citigroup. Samuel Allen, he started as an industrial engineer at John Deere. John Deere is a very, very popular company, and today he's the CEO of that manufacturing company. Alex Gorsky, he started as the sales representative of Johnson& Johnson. Today he's the CEO of the pharmaceutical company. Abigail Johnson, she started answering phones. So she was also in the reception. Today she is the CEO of the investment company. Now you might say that, but Ravi, these could be exceptions and these could be really, really extraordinary people. I mean, you might not have ambitions of being a CEO, but my point here is I have seen people around me. Um, I have, of course, when you give examples, you give the best examples. But I've seen so many people around me. They have risen to the executive level, to the senior vice president level, when after joining the organization at the very bottom level. So I'm reminded of one of in my Autodesk, uh, Amar Anspal. He joined as a developer, and then he became a product manager, and then gradually, by delivering value every year, he started climbing up the ladder, and eventually he became the senior vice president of products, and he was competing for the top spot. CEO he could not make it to the CEO, so the senior vice president of sales became the CEO. But my point is, you still went right to the top, right? So this is the 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 point that I'm trying to make is, you know what, you can still succeed in your professional career, you can still make a lot of money in your professional career, you can still have a satisfied job, and meaning and purpose you can draw from your professional career. So you don't have to, I mean, because you do not, you might be struggling how to navigate within your organization, you might be struggling how to manage your boss, that does not mean you cannot learn those skills and still succeed. And I'm here to tell you how to succeed with the organization and how to rise to the top of your organization. So as I said, this is the, I'm giving you 10 rules. This is the rule number one to succeed in your organization. Rule number one is to take the job that offers the most money. And I know when I shared this in Limitless, I also was asked a lot of questions, clarifications, but this is the key, and I'll explain you why. To take the money. Number one, always take the transfer, promotion, or assignment that offers most money. Why? Because when you take the job that gives you most money, all the benefits and perks and bonuses are based on top of that money. Okay? Because you get extra compensation, you get your bonuses as percentages on your salary. So the higher salary you get, the higher is your perks and bonuses. Say if, and then if not just this, getting a raise, usually if you get a 10% raise on 80K, it is always better than 10% raise on 50K dollars. So always look for that job, because then the incremental value after that is also high. Also, the higher paid you are, the more visible you are to the management. The more you are paid, the more contribution is expected of you, because you are more visible. If you are an expensive employee, then the management will expect you to contribute more. So as a result, you will be given more responsibility, tasks, and problems to solve. And a chance to perform is an invitation to success. If you have been given high value tasks to perform, that means that's a chance for you to succeed, and that's a chance for you to get promotion. That's a chance for you to grow within the organization. And it is easier to promote the higher paid than lower. This goes without saying. With most organizations, the higher somebody is paid, the easier it is for him to be promoted to the next level. And also, in your career, money is the scorecard. The higher you are being paid, the better you are doing. So that's it goes without saying. So your salary is a reflection of the value you bring to your organization, the value you bring to the marketplace. Okay, so you might not need all that money, but it should reflect the marketplace. Rule number two is developing an owner mentality, and I cannot state this enough. The best employees who rise to the top of your any organization, they have an owner's mentality. And what does owner's mentality mean? Owner's mentality, there's a difference between owner's mentality and employee mentality. So there are two kinds of employees: employees with employee mindset and the employees with owner mindset. Employees with the owner mindset, you take everything you are meant to do and go a step further. So that means if you if you look your job not as just your job, but you know what, you look as if you are the CEO of the company. That means the entire organization's needs are your needs. The entire organization's benefit is your benefit. The entire organization's success is your success. So you start thinking as if this is your organization, this is your business, and you are responsible for it. So when you start developing an owner's mentality, then you don't just do what is meant to do, you go a step further. So the employees with owner mentality are loyal, they're committed to the mission and the team. They also own the vision of the company. They feel personally responsible for everything that is happening in the company, even it is beyond the job description. All right. Their work is not limited to job description. So they don't say this is not my job or this is my job. They do whatever it takes to get things done. They feel responsible for the company's success, so they put the company first and make personal sacrifices without complaining. Most employees who have had faster rise in the organization, they have all sacrificed, they have made personal sacrifices to rise to the top. So in owner's mindset, you automatically start paying to details and seeing things that someone with an employee mindset cannot see. So go above and beyond without immediate compensation. So that is how it is. Usually, what happens is people think, I will only deliver what I am being paid for. But an owner's mindset does not think that way. He would not expect for an immediate compensation because you first deliver and then you deserve. So he is happy to deliver, and he knows that there would come a point of time where he will claim what he deserves. Rule number three is bring solutions, not problems, and this is a simple rule, and I don't think, and this is as direct as it can be. So if you have ever worked as a boss, then you would imagine that you do not want problems on your head. You have hired your team, you have hired your people to solve for problems. You have not hired them to identify problems. You have hired them to solve it and then they bring it to you. So if you want to rise to the top of your organization, you should be the one who, of course, highlights the problems, but along with that, who also comes with solutions, because that is how you become high valuable employee. Rule number four is to practice extreme accountability. So these the employees who have faster growth in the organization, who rise fast, they have extreme accountability. And there is a difference between being responsible and being accountable. And I will share a bit about that in some time. Accountability is internal commitment or willingness to take ownership. accepting responsibility, and following through on what you promised yourself and others that you do. Sticking to your word. Okay, if you say that you will deliver something, you do everything possible, you pull all nighters, you pull weekends, and get it done because you had committed it. This is what being extremely accountable means. Committed to generating the best results for themselves, their colleagues, and the company. That is what extreme accountability means. You don't just do your job, you step up to make sure you do what is right for the company. And as I said, there's a difference between being responsible and being accountable. Being accountable is working on a higher plane than being responsible. Responsible people do what they are told, but this is table stakes. You are being hired. Uh, if you are not responsible, then you should be fired. So being responsible is table stakes. That is anyways expected of you. But being accountable are those people who go beyond responsible. They are responsible not just for getting things done, but they're responsible for the success of what they are doing. It's not a checkbox saying that, okay, I did this, but hey, by doing this, what are the success outcomes did you achieve? This is what being accountable means. Next is rule number 5. Very, very important, and not many people are particularly aware of this. Making your boss look good and your boss's boss look better. And this is something that few people realize, and they have deviant notion about their relationship with your boss. Your boss is the most important relationship in your life other than your say, spouse or your immediate family members. You spend a good amount of your life at work, and the most important relationship at work is your boss, the number one. It is not your peer, it is not your best friend at workplace, it is your boss. And if you've forgotten that, then that is a recipe for disaster. So make your boss look good is build a relationship with your boss as healthily as possible and ensure that you are making him look good. Making him look good in front of the rest of the organization and making him look good in front of his boss. And not just him, but also make your boss's boss look good. So what are some of the ideas here? Making your boss look good improves your promotability. How? Because if you are making your boss look good, then your boss would want to promote you. Because if you make him look good, he is getting promoted. So his post is going vacant, and you can claim for his position. So if you are making him look good, then he is becoming more valuable in his company. So he becomes a candidate for the promotion, and when he gets promoted, you get his job. So that it's very important that you make your boss look good in the organization. Your boss cannot promote you without the permission of his boss. Okay, because usually how do promotions work? You speak to your boss and tell him that, okay, within my team I have these out of my 10 direct reportees, I have two of them who are high performers and I want to promote them. But eventually the person has to come from the boss's boss. So if you make your boss's boss look good, your entire promotability equation is enhanced. Okay, so make sure that, of course, you do not interact with your boss's boss a lot, but there are always occasions where you get to interact. So your boss's boss is more influential in your career than your boss because he can pull the strings. He does not have to challenge your boss. Okay, it should be easy for him to agree with your boss. So for that to happen, always make sure that you have built a relationship with your boss's boss also, and ensure that any task that comes to you, either from your boss or your boss's boss, you you done it. So try to earn these brownie points over time and try to finish any task that has come from your boss or your boss's boss ahead of schedule and always deliver a little bit more. Leave that mark of delivering more than what is required. And that is how you stand out from the rest of the contenders. And very importantly, don't let them make a mistake. If you ever because many people have seen that they have a deviant relationship with their boss, and because their relationships are so strained, they sometimes want their boss to fail, but that is actually detrimental for your career if your boss is failing. So ensure that you don't let your boss make a mistake, and then you will be in his good books, and then you are making your path easy to succeed within the organization. Rule number 6: behave a step ahead. And this is one of my favorite rules. So what does behave a step ahead means? Now, there is this tendency of people who usually what happens is they feel that, okay, I am gonna behave like a director when I become a director, or when I'm promoted to a director, and this is a fallacy. Or I will behave like a manager when I become a manager. That is a fallacy. You have to demonstrate traits and attitudes and personalities and ethics of the role that you are eyeing for next. Say, if you are a lead and you want to be promoted to senior manager, you have to demonstrate abilities and traits and personality of a manager. And people miss out on this. So you have to behave like the one that you're eyeing for. Only then the management would see you fit for that role. So if you're a director and you are eyeing for that VP role, you have to behave like a VP. So you have to build those executive presence skills. You have to build those negotiation skills. You have to build those skills. Really act like a VP. Say if you are a lead, act like a manager. If you are a manager, act like a director. If you are a director, act like a VP. So act and behave a step ahead. This is what the rule is. Don't imagine that, oh, once I get promoted, only then I will act my part. So this is a key important skill for people who rise really fast, and they act their part a step ahead, and that is the secret to their success. So this was rule number 6. Rule number 7, again, very, very important rule for people who rise fast in their organizations. And the rule is, be a flag waving company patriot. What does a flag waving company patriot mean? The employees who rise fast are the ones who are most loyal to their company. They're not just loyal, they demonstrate loyalty at every given opportunity. So let me read out what I mean here. So as a flag waving company patriot, show total commitment to your company and to its products and services at any given point of time, at any given opportunity. Understand and believe in your company's mission. Truly. All right. So don't fake it. You have to understand and believe in your company's mission, because it's all tied up together, right? So if you have an owner's mindset, that means you think like the CEO. You think that this is your business, and no matter what flaws there are in your business, you own it because it's a business. If you ever start your own business or your own company, it will have uh, its own sense. So would you just give up? No, you will hire people who will work on those flaws. And similarly here, you have to completely understand and believe in your company's mission, values, and embrace along with its flaws. Use your company's products and promote them tirelessly. Okay, this is how you're becoming a company patriot. This is how you're showing your loyalty. Because if you do not use your company's products and promote it tirelessly in the outside world, you're not demonstrating loyalty for your company. Do not go to work for a company if you cannot unabashedly shout the virtues of your products. So this is also very important. Just a second. So this is also quite important, because if you are not able to share the virtues of your company, then what's the proof? How is your commitment shown here, and the value shown here? Buy company stock. What does it mean? That means you trust the value of your company, you trust the future potential of your company, and buying company stock is an evidence of that trust. Never be cynical about your company, and this is true. I mean, you have to be, as I said, you cannot fake it. So don't be cynical about your company. Cynicism of your own company is a loser's attitude, and I've seen a lot of losers. And I think I have also behaved somewhat irresponsibly in the past, where I have cribbed um, and belittled my company behind scenes. Okay, say in water cooler conversations, during lunch conversations, I would say, "Oh, this company is going to the dogs." But you know what? I quickly realized that this is a loser's attitude. If you want to really grow within the organization, if you want to be considered as a high value, high growth employee, then you have to embrace and become a flag waving company patriot. This is important. Rule number 8: stay out of office politics. Goes without saying, isn't it? However, this is politics is is such a thing that the best people with the best intentions can be sucked in. That is the power of politics. That is the power of any. Um, Even today, I get sucked into, after trying to build a company policy or to stay away from any kind of gossip. I get sucked into it because, and the reason is that's the nature of gossip. It is so powerful that the best intended people can also be sucked into it, because it creates a black hole. It creates peer pressure to just contribute so that you can be part of the gang who is gossiping. But if you want to be an employee who's known as a high value employee, if you want to rise in the organization, then you have to stay out of politics. My in office politics is a sign of a weak leader. Do not waste your time in indulging in office politics. Spend your time creating and accomplishing. Let your actions be your politics. In good companies, contribution counts. Be the last to know. Embrace Jomo. What is Jomo over FOMO? And what do you mean by being the last one to know? Just quickly, let me check. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I was using the wrong mic. Be the last one to embrace Jomo over FOMO. Okay, now it says my browser has lost connection to the camera, which is fine. Start cam. Webcam. Yeah. All right. Be the last one to know. Embrace JOMO over FOMO. Usually, there is a lot of peer pressure to be the first one to know about gossips. You know what? Oh, that boss got fired. That guy got fired. You know, his team member was caught in a scandal. And you know what? Team member, you have this having a member. So there's a lot of gossip that happens within our organization. And sometimes the pressure is, oh God, how do these people know? And I do not know. And you are missing out. It's okay if you do not know. And embrace JOMO over the fear of missing out. And usually there's a lot of undue pressure that we you know what, we do not know. I do not know. I think, you know what, be the last one to know, that you do not know. Don't tell me, let me tell you something. If somebody says, hey, you know what, I have this inside news, but it is confidential, then be the first one to say, okay, if it is confidential, please don't share it with me.
Don't say anything bad about anybody. Do not gossip. Just work. As simple as that. Executive request, and this is again key. The rule is, if you're working on something and your boss comes to you, or your boss's boss comes to you and says, "Hey, I get it done," drop everything and take that up. This is the rule. At that moment, yes. Okay. Sometimes what happens is, of course, your current priority gets sidelined and you're not able to deliver. Bring that up in your one-on-one. You can resolve this later. But what is more important is, if your boss comes to you and says, Ravi, or whoever is, whatever is your name, and comes to you, hey, get this done, then drop everything else and get that done. That should be a thumb rule for you. When a top guy asks, always say, I can do it. And it happened in our one-on-one, I told him about my deluge of tasks and responsibilities on my plate. So I was just telling him that, you know what, it's getting really, really overwhelming. And I have to work for, say, more than 11, 12 hours. And it is creating a strain. And you know what? Next day, he gives me another task. So the point is, when a top guy asks, always say, I can do it. No matter what the request, give him more than he asks. People who get the job done also get the top jobs. So this is how it is. If it's a high pressure job, you just deliver in that high pressure. And the more that you can deliver in a high pressure environment, the more is your credibility is being built, and you are a credible, you hold the credible chance to take that top job. Last rule number 10, learn how to blow your trumpet smart. And this is something not many people are aware of. And there are different personalities, right? So there are people who are introverts, there are people who are extroverts, and then there are people in between, ambiverts. So there are extroverts who are good at blowing their own trumpet. However, sometimes it actually backfires if you blow your own trumpet a lot. And then there are introverts who might have delivered a lot of work, but they do not know how to make a lot of noise within the organization. And this is a challenge. So you should be because you cannot rise to the top of our organization if you have not been smart and telling your organization the value you are bringing to them every day, every week, every month. So you should know how to do that. So one of the ways to do that is to track your success somewhere, so that you can present them in the most appropriate way to your organization, to your bosses, to your management. Develop the habit of tracking your success and achievements. This will help you position as a high value employee. So don't just list your tasks. Oh, I did this, I did that. No, don't list your responsibilities. That is not enough. There's an example here. Saying I was responsible for office supplies is not enough. Nobody cares that you're responsible. Of course, everybody is responsible for something. But if you say, as I said, you have to track your success. Okay, by being responsible for office supplies, what did you do or achieve for your organization? So you can say that I was able to negotiate with the suppliers and reduce the cost by 20%. This is the success metric. This is how you brought impact to your company. So most people, what they do is they list out, even in their team meetings, they would just list out, I did this, I did that. Hey, by doing that, how did you move the needle? How did you move the metrics? How did you bring back your organization? And then update your success tracker once a month. I'll give you a template here that I found in this book, Maya Grossman's book, Invaluable. She recommended this tracking sheet. So what she recommended was create an Excel sheet where you have these 4 columns: responsibilities, goals, achievements, references, and ensure that this sheet is getting updated every month. So responsibilities is definitely your tasks, what you're responsible for. and then have a goal. So for every task, there should be a goal, right? What is the goal? What is the success goal that you're hitting for? And then after the goal is met, what were the achievements that you got for that responsibility? And then there is a list of references. References is if somebody wants to check more about the task, so it could go to an internal wiki page or a document or a folder or something of that sort. Now, once you list out your responsibilities in terms of goals and achievements, I think I gave you the example of how a responsibility can be converted into a goal. So when you say I'm responsible for office supplies is a responsibility, but when you convert that into goal, that you know what, I negotiated with my suppliers and reduced cost by 20%, then you actually move the needle. So that was number 10, and with that we are with the 10 rules. So I think I was good in time. Within 45 minutes, I was able to list out all the 10 rules. I wish this was interactive. I wanted it to be interactive. Just that, just let me check if there are people who have logged in. So that if they are already logged in. The need for a session where we can options, but no. All right. So since this is broadcast and I cannot take questions, so what I'm going to do is, if you like this content, so what we have done is we have built a personal and professional growth platform called Limitless, where we go deep into professional growth topics. So I call Limitless as a premium gym membership for your personal and professional growth. Professional is missing here, but it's a gym membership for your personal and professional growth. And why I call it a gym membership? Why do you take a gym membership? You take a gym membership so that you are consistent and you build your fitness. However, I saw that as a challenge. I could not see any platform that is actually like a gym membership, offering people to improve on their professional expertise, offering people to take care of their professional and personal growth. And this is what my mission was with building Limitless, where anybody who joins Limitless is growing in their personal and professional growth. And the reason, the way I envisioned Limitless is your input. This quote is my favorite. It comes from Zig Ziglar, who says, your input determines your outlook determines your output, and your output determines your future. And Limitless is playing a role to create that input so that it is a signal from all the noise that we are being thrown into. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of distraction, say from social media, from advertisements, from television, from the content that is being thrown from all directions. And the problem is not content. There is already a wealth of content that is around. However, how do you differentiate between the signal and the noise? And this is what Limitless provides you, that it gives you the right input so that you build your outlook, and your outlook determines your output, and your output determines your future. So one of my favorite quotes, and this was one of my trigger points to start Limitless. So this is the antidote to distractions and mediocre fluff social media throws at you daily. And what do you get in Limitless? In Limitless, you get daily audio and text content from a theme. So I will talk to you about themes. So every 2 weeks, we pick a theme for your professional growth and a theme for your personal growth. And we provide not more than 5 minutes of daily audio content for you to understand deeply these concepts. And then we take these topics from the best books from all around the world, and I share book summaries, inspirational essays, and also we do masterclass sessions with some of the most successful people from around the world. And we also do monthly workshops on the topics that we are learning in that month. So what makes this program so powerful? The reason this is powerful is it is the power of tiny gains. It's the power of compounding, where you get 1% better every day. So over time, as you go step by step, just investing 5 minutes a day on that theme for professional growth, you, first of all, you are gaining insight and you are gaining signal from all the noise that you are being thrown through social media. So you are actually going in the direction of the topic with intention, because you have picked yourself that you are going to invest your next 2 weeks in a particular theme. And I will give you some examples on what themes are. And then you are becoming 1% better every day by just listening to 5 minutes of content every day. And over time, little by little, the impact, the power of compounding kicks in, and then you become, it pays you massive dividends over time on a plethora of themes, personal and professional growth. So consistency is the key here. Consistency is the key, and tiny gains is the key. So this is what makes this powerful. And as I said, we usually take the concepts that has a clearly laid out learning path for each of the themes that we pick. And there is an arc of learning. So every 2 weeks, we go really deep, say 10 days of content or 12 days of content in 2 weeks. We go really deep on that topic just by learning 5 minutes each day. And the content is handcrafted and curated by me. And that is why it is more precious. There is no AI behind it, which is throwing you random content. There's actually a human being, and that human being is me. So I'll give you some examples. As I said, 5 minutes of daily commitment and 150 minutes of accumulated wisdom in a week, not in a week, in a month. So just by 5 minutes of daily commitment is actually giving you radical dividends in a week or in a month. So just to give you examples on what are some of the themes that we pick. So themes are divided into two: personal track and professional track. Personal track could be, okay, how to be indistractable, how to learn, what is the magic of thinking big, what are the mental models, how to achieve mastery, how to build deliberate practice. And on the professional growth track, it could be how to transition your career, how to build an executive presence, how to have difficult conversations with your managers or your colleagues, how to plan your first 90 days in a new organization that you have joined, how to build your personal brand and stuff, so on and so forth. So it's just never ending, because these themes are always picked by doing surveys within the participants, and the participants help us pick what would they want to learn for the next 2 weeks. And that's how we pick the theme for the next 2 weeks. Say, for example, one of the themes in the last week 3 and 4 was how to manage your boss. So I just gave you examples in my session today that managing your boss is the most critical part that you could do to succeed in your professional career. But not many people do that. So what we did was we created 12 days content, and we shared every day just 5 to 6 minutes of content, and we learned deeply on how to manage your boss. And not just that, at the end of the month, we also did a workshop where we went into some structures, we went into creating say models and frameworks and toolkit, where we shared in an intimate setting. So the participants would join in a Zoom call, and we would just get together and do workshops on managing your boss, or whatever is the theme is. And then we learn from the best books in the world. So it is this is not just me talking with my own limited knowledge. No, I curate a lot of content from some of the best books from the world. So these were some of the books that we learned in week 1, and similarly we pick new books every week. And not just that, we also invite some of the best professionals and successful people from all around the world. Once in 6 weeks, we identify one personality, and he comes and people spend time intimately with them. See, I have always believed that transformation does not happen in isolation. For transformation, there are multiple inputs that you need. And multiple inputs are books, your environment, what you are learning consistently daily. It's not about what you learned once in a while. You are what you are, what you do consistently every day. So what Limitless provides you is these kinds of inputs. It is building your environment, it is elevating your environment, it is giving you daily content. So that means it is helping you stay focused from all the distractions. And then it is giving you access to some of the world's best books. And then it is also giving you access to some of the best professionals in the world, some of the most successful people in the world. And only when you interact with these people in flesh and blood and you talk to them in private setting, then the transformations happen slowly. And these are the elements that usually are missed in our regular lives. And that is what Limitless strives to offer you. So that was Sunil, and this is Maya Grossman is our next guest. She's the author of this book that I was telling you, Invaluable. And she agreed to grace us, and all the participants will get access to her, ask her questions in an intimate setting, and learn from her. So good news is Limitless is available only for 10 euros a month. So I told you it's a gym membership for personal and professional growth. So we started it with 2 tiers, 10 euros and 20 euros, when we said, okay, all the workshops and all the sessions with individuals and guests, we will do it for 20 euros. But after taking feedback from people, we just narrowed it down. Everything is offered for 10 euros within one bundle. So we remove the 20 euro tier, and then within 10 euros, you're getting daily content on the themes, personal and professional growth. You're getting 2 actionable power book summaries. You're getting 1 premium high self written. You're getting 1 live workshop on high growth concepts in the community. You're getting private sessions with super achievers from all around the world every 6 weeks. So these were some of the details of what Limitless is. So if you see benefit out of it, so all of you who are listening to it, just ping me on chat and let me know. I'm happy to give you 2 weeks free access on trial basis. So just immerse yourself for 2 weeks and see if it is meant for you, to see if I stick to the promise that I'm already presenting here. And then you can let me know. I'll be happy to take feedback also. So as I said, whoever is listening to this today, if you want to try Limitless for 2 weeks, just ping me, whichever. So I'm available on Facebook Messenger. I'm available on YouTube comments. Wherever you're listening, just leave a note. You can add a comment, and then I'll be back. I'll be giving you access for 2 weeks, and then we can take it forward from there. With that, this is Ravi signing off. I hope you enjoyed the session today. If you like this session, do share it with others, and I'll appreciate that. See you then. Have a good rest of the Sunday and stay safe. Bye-bye.